Today's bike of the day is a little bit on the smaller side. It is a Honda NSR250R, and to be frank, this episode of Bike of the Day is less about the bike and more about the rider. Kensei Matsudaira, we're a big fan of his here at Iconic Motorbikes. We actually supported him, we sponsored him this last race season, and we're gonna do so again next year. But I'm gonna push pause on that just for a moment. We'll talk about Kensei a little bit later in the video, because I do want to talk about the bike a little bit itself. Like I said, Honda NSR250R, this is the privateer bike you can buy directly from Honda. It's in a Moto3 race equivalent. Obviously the Moto3 race bikes themselves have some upgrades, namely to the intake, the exhaust, and the ECU. But for the average member of the public, this is kind of as close as it's going to get for you to have something that's on the MotoGP grid on every race weekend. Now, Adam, my wonderful partner here at Iconic, was approached by one of our clients a couple of years ago, maybe 18 months ago or so, saying that he had a connection to HRC, Honda Racing Corporation in Japan, and that we could buy some of these directly from HRC if we wanted to. And you know what? I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong. I was concerned about it. I think one of my big fears about American racing is that the average kid goes off into dirt. They race motocross, supercross, that kind of thing. You know, we're losing road racing guys. And Adam and I have all of our money tied up in this company. We need it to do well for us to survive. And so I was a little, I was scared. What if we buy a bunch of these and no one buys them? That's why I love having Adam as a partner. He looks at that problem and thinks of a different solution. He thinks of it as, well, that just means we need to get more people on road racing bikes. And I'm really glad to say I was wrong, Adam was right. We got a container full of these, I think about roughly 20 of the 250s and also 10 of the NSR100. So both four-stroke bikes. You can tell from the displacement or from the model name what the displacements are. The 100s are really just more for go-kart situations, or go-kart tracks, I should say. These things, I mean, these will go on full-fledged tracks. They do. They race, they race these things in Moto3, like I said, very frequently. So, anyway, here's the situation with these. I unfortunately am too big for them. Adam's too big for them. But we do have, a couple of our technicians, Olly and Steve here, have bought these for themselves to replace their usual two-stroke race bikes, and they join us at track days on them, and it's incredible. Watching Olly fly around people on big bikes on a 40, maybe 45 horsepower, I should say, single is always a treat to watch. And I think we have some footage of him. I was following him on my Kramer at Barber that we'll include now, just so you can kind of check it out. As you can see from that, it's such a fun bike. It's loud, it sounds great. Again, about 45 horsepower. The most important thing though is it weighs 180 pounds, wet, ready to ride. That is less than I weigh as a human being. This thing flies as long as you understand that it's all about corner speed. You're not really braking, you're getting momentum, you're going. And yeah, on a straightaway, the leader bikes leave you in the dust, but when you pass someone on a leader bike on this, it's good for a laugh for everyone except whoever's riding the leader bike. I've been really blown away by the response that Iconic has had by bringing these in. We've been contacted by people all around the country, and even actually around the world. We've had a couple of people from England that have bought these from us as well. For fun fact, I guess, about the NSR250s, Honda actually released these in the US for 1 year only in 2012. And that was the 1 year that you could go to your Honda dealership, place a special order, get one, and HRC would ship it to your dealer. You could pick it up and race it. I mean, the pricing was in the 20 grands for that. After that year, as you can imagine, sales weren't amazing. And so they kind of cut that program off in terms of exporting it or selling it through dealers specifically. But the bikes are there. You can always order one from HRC. For the average person, if you live in LA or New York or Chicago, or wherever it is, the cost of shipping makes it tough to order one directly from HRC and then get it. But for us, it kind of made sense. Hey, we filled a container that helped us with the shipping cost per bike, and we brought it here, and we're so excited to share these with our clients. So we've had A variety of clients pick these up. Some people, like sometimes it's younger, or it's like dads or moms of younger kids that are training that want to get to the next level. Sometimes it's adults that just want to have an amazing track bike for themselves. Either way is cool. Olly kindly let me borrow his for a couple laps when we did COTA with Circuit of the Americas with the Aprilia Racers days. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm too big for it. After 2 laps, I just had to come in. I couldn't fit on the thing. But it really is a proper race bike in terms of performance and in terms of maintenance. But that's enough about the Honda NSF250. As cool as it is, what's even cooler to me is Kensei Matsudaira. And I apologize because I'm sure I'm not pronouncing his last name correctly. Kensei is a dual citizen between Japan and America. He lives here. His father, Cooney, former road racer, really wonderful guy. He's the father that we all wanted growing up with motorcycles, supporting the dream. Kensei has been incredible racing in multiple disciplines, road racing, speedway, flat track, all kinds of stuff. And he is, I think, one of America's next big hopes in terms of having success in MotoGP going in the future. So as you can tell, Iconic has sponsored him. Love this livery. I think if I do another set of bodywork on my Kramer, I'm gonna try to steal this kind of thing. This design was created by the wonderful Dave Designs out in Spain. And that's actually where Kensei spends a lot of his time, because unfortunately, and this is a topic for a different video, a whole different thing, how Americans can get into MotoGP and the high levels of road racing. America's not there yet. We'll discuss that later. Spain's kind of where you got to go. And so, yeah, Cooney and Kensei spend a lot of their time out there. It's not easy, it's not cheap, but they're doing what they can to, like I said, be America's next great hope in MotoGP. And Adam and I just can't get excited enough about that and help support it. So, enough about me, or enough from me, enough about the bike. I want to have you hear from both Kensei and his father, Cooney. They're going to tell you a little bit about what they achieved last year in 2023, and also what you can look forward to in 2024. In the comments or the description of the video, we'll share some links that you can follow along, and we look forward to seeing how it goes for them in the future.
Hi, my name is Kensei Matsudaira. I'm 13 years old, and this year I'm going to be racing Pre-Moto 3 in the ESBK class.
My name is Cooney Matsudaira. I'm Kensei's father. I've been kind of helping Ken and watching him race over here and in Spain over the last few years. We started racing in Spain about 3 years ago in the Mini GP category, moving up to Moto 5, and last year Moto 4 in the ESBK championship. Last year in Moto 4 category, he was able to fight at the front in all the races, got some podiums. In terms of times from the winner, he was able to have a photo finish 0.04 seconds off the winner in one of the races, and his worst finish was only 2.8 seconds off the winner. So we felt that he was ready to move up to the Pre-Moto 3 category this year, where he'll be racing a GP chassis bike very similar to this one with the Yamaha engine. And we start our season in March of this year. We're looking forward to seeing what he can do.
I hope you enjoyed hearing from them both. Again, I can't say how much it means to Adam and I to be just a part of this. Just like with Trackhouse, the new American-sponsored MotoGP team, the first one in I think about 2 decades. Again, Adam and I are very stoked to be a part of that. We helped them bring those bikes in the country. We're going to an event, their official premiere this week. And for us, at the end of the day, we just want to see more Americans, whether it's teams, whether it's riders, whatever it is, get in the sport and succeed. It's so crazy to me that 30 years ago, 40 years ago, MotoGP was dominated by Americans, and now there's barely anyone. There's actually no American rider currently in the top level of the sport. That has to change, and the only way it's going to change is with the youth and supporting them and getting them to grow. So as Iconic grows, we're going to do our best to help. I hope you'll help as well. But thanks for watching. I hope you follow Kensei and Cooney, and we'll see you at the next one.